Okay, we're going to continue on talking about other packages. We're going to shift over to the open source GIS packages. And this gets kind of complicated. So the GIS world is completely dependent upon a series of open source libraries or tools that have been out there for a really long time. These are the three of them. GDAL reads and writes over 120 different geospatial raster file formats, rather incredible number. Ogre reads and writes a bunch of vector ones. The situation, though, between raster and vector, as you guys are already aware, is that there's tons of different raster formats. People use all kinds of different ones. We routinely use 4 or 5 in our classes, if you include grid ASCII and some others. But vector file I/O is almost entirely dominated by CSV files and shapefiles. Shout out for Esri for shapefiles. And then there's Proj4, which is a projectin library. So Proj4 underlies ArcGIS, Bluespray, QGIS, and probably every GIS package out there because it's really the only library that does lots of projections. It's been kept up to date. Frank Wammerdam did that for a long time. Shout out to Frank. Pretty great piece of software. It's highly reliable. It's very fast. The issue with these three libraries is they've been around a long time. They're all written in C++. So folks have tried to make ports to other languages. It's never worked out well. We end up just linking to these libraries. Now, the issue is how to get to them from Python. There are bindings that go right to these libraries. However, there's a lot of different things going on with the open source tools. And by the way, I'm only going to talk about a small subset. If you go on to the python.org website, you'll see there's lots of other ones out there. Good luck. I guess I also need to explain a little bit about QGIS and OSGeo. QGIS, as you know, is an open source GIS package. It doesn't really have the kind of interface to write external programs and call QGIS like we can do with ArcPy. You can write internal tools in Python for QGIS. That's well documented on the QGIS website. Like you can for Arc, you can do that in QGIS, but you really can't access it externally. It's not set up for that. It's not documented for that. One of the reasons is QGIS is largely a collection of these other open source libraries that you can call externally, but they all have different interfaces. And that's really the issue with open source GIS is there's all these different libraries. They all work very differently. There is no one common system to talk to them that I found that works well. OSGeo was an attempt at that. It came out in Unix quite a while ago. It eventually was able to work on Windows, but it never worked very well, in my opinion. The other one that has come out just a couple years ago is GeoPandas. GeoPandas does work well for a subset of stuff, and what it does is it brings together a number of different libraries. Specifically these three libraries, but also NumPy and SciPy. And so GeoPandas is pretty cool in that you can do a lot with it, read, write shapefiles, and do operations on through NumPy or SciPy. The issue I have with GeoPandas is we've got some install issues with it, and that it's not really extensible. It's just tying NumPy and SciPy together with some of the geospatial libraries. And I always wanted to have a extensible library structure, honestly, like ArcPy, that was easy to use, but also flexible and extensible. And we do not have that yet. This is some code for doing GeoPandas. You're welcome to look at that.